Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Doctor Stone Season 4, Episode 2. Here we are into Season 4. We have the fight last episode between Senku and Ryusui. Not a fist fight, but a intellectual battle on which route they should take to the Americas. Senku saying we need to go quicker in order to get there before this harvest so we don't have to spend a whole winter there. And then Ryusui saying it's safer to take the longer way. So they ended up battling it out through a game of poker, which ended up with Senku winning, and then Ryusui caving in, but with a few demands. We're gonna take the faster route, but Ryusui gets a casino for the crew, a bar for the crew, and like a fast forward on the food rations so they can eat more rather than rationing out as much. So, very good episode, and I look forward to seeing where we go from here. So let's jump into the episode, shall we, guys? We're gonna start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. 2 weeks before. Okay. Oh. Jeez. Wheat juice. Oh, is this how they got the beer? Maybe. Yep, okay. A quick... I said, like, oh man, they have beer. Like, I didn't care because we suddenly have casino tables and all these things, but... nice. It's funny watching... There's not a lot of anime where you see them drinking beer. I know they did in Chainsaw Man. Too young. Yeah, it's true. A lot of those games and drinks and everything. Nice. Yeah, the people who don't drink need to have fun too. Hmm. Okay. This opening's just fun. It's not like... It's funny because they're like dancing to the music, so it's kind of like meta in a way, but I actually enjoy it quite a bit. I have like a hair tickling my nose. I'm not picking my nose, I swear. Damn mustache, and I'm getting old, man. My nose hairs grow like a motherfucker. Like, they never used to when I was younger. Even when I was in my, like, mid-20s, I'd say it wasn't even that big of a deal. Like, sure, I had some nose hairs, but now they grow like motherfucking weeds. I don't know what's up with it. It's crazy. If any of you guys are watching this and you're younger, I don't know what your bodies will do to you when you're older, but if you're anything like me, get ready. It's a wild ride. I'm not even that old. Some of you watching may be older than me. I'm only 32. I say only. Alright. Science Journey. Sulfuric acid in a drink? Ugh, the idea of your teeth melting. I like tried to imagine it for some reason and it hurt. One of their tongues is poking him in the eye. Hmm. Yeah. Gum syrup, okay. Nice. Yogurt. Lactic drink acquired. Okay. I don't quite know what a lactic drink is. It's kind of like our helmet. Oh. Is that an edible straw? It almost looks like it might be. Nice. Oh. Yeah. Even he said it. Oh. Wow. Hmm. Nice. She's good. None whatsoever. Yeah, flare. Yeah. Look at Tsukasa's outfit. Oh. Spicy cola. Of course it's a cola. Spicy Cinderella. Ah, it's like his hair. 3-layer tea latte. Oh, nice. Seems like he thought of something at the end there. Or did he? It didn't look like he. It looked like he stopped taking a sip because he thought of something. But or did he take a sip and that was just him enjoying it? I don't know. It's got to be rough to wake up. can't just suddenly have, you know, the people you know are gone. Oh, yeah. Man, how do you figure out how it works? Oh, shit! Matsukaze, you badass. Really looks a lot like Ginro. I mean, I know that was the whole joke in the beginning. Hmm. Some fair questions. Yeah. I wonder if they were curious if humanity has changed. Like, you give humans weapons and they use them against each other. Also, they had bandits and shit. Pretty interesting how their society developed. Oh, shit! Jeez! That's where his hair fell and maybe where he got turned himself, yeah. Oh. Okay, so that's how it got there. Interesting. Very clever. Hmm. Interesting. Oh, shoot. Oh no, is he a lightweight? Yep. That's funny. Nice. Some training. Yeah. Is it Hyoga? Okay. There he is. I thought it was gonna happen because he's in the opening standing next to everyone. No, I don't need that. Oh. Well, he wants to revive everyone anyway, so... Oh shit, Moz! Is that one of his? Of course, Homura. She's been gone for a while. This practice thing. Okay. So what's the thing for mods to do first? Ah, they're gonna train each other. Nice. Alright, everyone's training up. Ow! Ryusui Theater. The Vikings. Finland Saga. Hmm. Interesting. Get out of here, Gunro. Yep. Ah. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh my god. Of course. Interesting. Yeah. Because of the time zone changes? Right. Damn. That's pretty crazy. Well. Zero in luck. We need a sunstone. Yeah. Hot air balloon, go above the clouds. Oh. Of course she can. I love how instantly. Hmm. So how does that help you see the sun? Yeah, Chrome. Hmm. Interesting. I don't quite understand it. Natural prism splits light into two. Okay, I see. I think I get it. Damn. So, did the Vikings actually figure out to use it in that way? That's pretty cool. Yeah. Could have been a real thing. No. Oh, shit! No! The poker tables! The very intense music. Oh, shit! An iceberg. Oh my god! Whales. It's just the same reaction again. Homer is always in high places. Oh, we have land. Oh my god, look at them all in the front. uh. Oh shit. Damn. Okay. So we had. I predicted either by, like, partway through this episode or by next episode we'd be. Like, I thought there might be one more traveling at sea, and that's pretty much what we got. That was a fun one. So we made some drinks, some alcoholic mixed drinks, and some non-alcoholic mixed drinks for the people that aren't interested in that, which is cool. That was that was interesting. And then we had I do kind of want to look up like what lactic drink really means, because I know like it could mean like a like milk kind of drink, like dairy. I don't know. Just because like lactic, like lactose intolerant. I don't know. Just throwing it out there without really knowing anything. Um, but I'll look that up after the credits. But yeah, we had a little bit more with Mitsukaze, who, you know, we saw back then where they had a bunch of the devices that they figured out how to use, and they were weaponized. They had like bandits and stuff, which is kind of crazy with that society that they, you know, that enough people were born that their society on that island was able to split in that way, right? Into like factions and everything. That is it, guys, for episode 2. All right. But yeah, so they had the idea to cut off his or her, I don't know the gender of Mitsukaze's master person. Um, it looked and kind of sounded like, I mean, it looked like Ginro, so my first instinct went to boy-ish, although Ginro does have some femininity to him there. But the voice also kind of sounded a little bit more masculine to me, so I don't know if that was supposed to just be like more similar to Ginro, but it is supposed to be a girl. But yeah, regardless, I don't know. Um, the when they started getting petrified, Mitsukaze made the quick decision to cut off their arm. Now it seems like they might have died from that injury because they might not have had the tools and stuff necessary, the medical know-how to keep someone alive from that kind of wound, and they were in battle too, so they were just on like a cliff or whatever, just like out in the middle of nowhere. So but yeah, so their society at one point developed to the point where, like, I know we saw them in the present for when Senku and them were there, and they did have kind of like different groups, and the different groups would send some of their like pretty women to go to like see the master and stuff like that. So I guess there were like different groups, and they called them bandits, the people that were running at them with the devices. Um, it's just kind of crazy that, I mean, I guess in 3,000 years, that's a lot of generations. Like, if you think about the fact that medication and stuff like that isn't, like, medicine isn't as good, so their generations are going to move a little quicker than ours do. Because back then, in that kind of with that kind of technology and stuff that they had in that time period, they probably were, like, I know there was a point where we were lucky to live to our like 40s, right? So I wonder if it was similar to that, then every 40 years for 3700 years. I don't know when they were first attacked with the devices that wiped out some of their population and they started weaponizing them. Even if we say that happened after 2,000 years, if we assume 2,000 years divided by 40 years per generation, I mean, that's 50 generations. That's quite a lot. Like, if you assume that, like, I don't know. I don't know a good way to do the math on how many people that is. But if we assume that each generation grew by like 5 people, even just that amount, that's a lot. That's like there could have been like thousands of people on that island, with that amount of generations. So I don't know. I'm just throwing out like numbers and stuff like that here, but I don't have any like concrete numbers. But yeah, just kind of crazy that I kind of expected this island. I mean, I know we like I said, we saw it having different clans and stuff like that, but we never saw like an astronomical amount of people. So to think there was like whole like bandit tribes seemingly, because there was like a whole group of them running, fighting and stuff like that. I expected it to be a little more like Ishigami Village, where they're on the smaller side with only like 40 or so. Like they couldn't really exceed too much past 50 people because they couldn't feed them all. But I guess on that island they had like a better source of food, or they did a better job figuring all that out. So, but regardless of all that, there's a very good question posed in there of why send so many when one device could have wiped them all out. And it makes me wonder if it was some sort of test. They're like, okay, this is kind of like a new generation of humans, right? They didn't have, all they had were the 100 Tales. They didn't really have any other information from our old culture. So it's almost like they sent a bunch of devices down there in order to test the humans to see if, because I had theorized that maybe whoever did this like lost their faith in humanity. There were too many wars, too much bad stuff going on in the world, so they just wanted to just wipe all of the humans out. So they just went to the moon and just wiped out all the humans. that was kind of one of my theories back in, I think in the last season, one of my discussions, I talked about it. And I feel like this episode and that question kind of reinforces it a little bit of like, they could have just been testing the new generation of humans. Send down a bunch of these weapons, kind of use it once, but it's not going to get everyone, show them how it works. They figure out how it works, and then they weaponize it against each other. Oh, this is just human nature. This is how humans are going to be, no matter whether we do a reset or not, kind of thing. And that might be why they went nuclear and are now just seemingly trying to just turn everyone to stone again. So, with the radio message coming over the line saying to like the exact diameter of Earth, basically attempting to turn everyone to stone again. So, yeah. So that's interesting. I also really wonder how they figured out how to use them too, right? Because like when you have a device like that, for one, they always say it in English, right? So one, how do they even know the English language? So I have some questions in that regard, but I don't know, maybe we'll find out. Maybe they'll be who knows, maybe they'll actually give us an answer, or maybe it's one of those things where we just never get an answer. I think that that's possible, and I'm not too worried about it. I have enough fun with this show that I don't need every single little thing to make perfect 100% sense. And maybe there's just maybe it does make sense and there's something I'm not thinking of, because that's entirely possible too. But they have to say like 10 meters 1 second or something, and they have to say it in English, whereas seemingly they only really know Japanese. So, yeah. I'm curious how the random bandits and stuff like that seem to figure out how to weaponize it. But anyway. So that little flashback was interesting. I really love Matsukaze's like idea of putting his hand above his head to have it turn to stone first, and then lowering it back down before his like all of his joints, got that way, and then drawing the symbol in his wrist as like a somewhat warning. And it's funny how in the future, that's what, I mean, they were trying to free everyone anyway, but that's essentially what allowed Senku and them to free him. So he kind of saved himself in a way. Like I said, everyone's getting freed eventually anyway, but they saw that symbol in his arm and they're like, oh, let's free this guy, he might know what's up. So it was really interesting. I like that. I don't know that did we free everyone there, or did we kind of like move on for now and we'll do it later? They might have freed everyone they could find. That would suck to like imagine still being conscious and just like, but like because so much time had passed, you're like buried underground. Like you're still conscious like Senku was, but you're just buried underground. I don't know if they have any kind of awareness while they are turned to stone. Of like what's going on around them. It didn't seem like Senku was. It didn't seem like Senku was like, okay, 1, 2, 3. Holy shit! A wave just washed me away. 6, 7, 8. It like so. I don't know if he had any kind of awareness of what was happening in his surroundings. But if they did, that would suck to like hear everyone like stomping around above you and just being like, come save me, like obviously you can't say that or whatever, but you're just buried underground where potentially no one may be able to find you. Oh, that would suck. But yeah. So, anyway, we had the way that they're traveling, which is really cool. They're utilizing the time difference between where they came from and where they're going to be able to try to pinpoint where they are on the map. And basically they're getting a message every hour, which is what the hourglasses were for, right? To help them keep track of an hour, because they can't like keep that in their head as well as Senku can. And then when they hear that come through, Senku just, starts his, human stopwatch. Uh, it did look like they were they just flipping the hourglasses at the end, or was that our crew getting hourglasses? Um, during like the little montage. Okay, I think that was just them doing the hourglassing back at home because it was Rory and them. I couldn't remember who it was. I remembered seeing the hourglasses, and I couldn't remember exactly who it was. So that was just them messing with the hourglasses. I don't know why they don't make some hourglasses for the ship. Maybe there's some kind of reason that doesn't work, but anyway, that's really cool that they're able to triangulate their position based on the amount of time difference there is from, obviously it's a rough number, but yeah, without the sun, they're having a hard time traveling during the day. But we had Chrome who came up with the idea of using this stone, this calcite, which splits light. It's a natural prism that splits light into two. I didn't really get it at first when they were like demonstrating it. I couldn't really tell what he was. I had a hard time telling what he was looking at when he was like had the two lights split and everything. I could go back and watch the scene, but I think I get it now. Basically, when the light travels through, and he has like a little symbol drawn in it, right? So it's like casting a shadow as the light's coming through. And it's like two separate ones because the light naturally splits it. It's almost like I called it like a shadow because that's kind of, in a way, that's how I like relate to it. Like if the sun's shining at me from this angle, I'm gonna have a shadow on this angle, right? Like, but because it's like a prism, it essentially creates two shadows. But when it's pointed directly, and those shadows move as you move it, depending on the angle the sun is hitting it. And then as soon as you hit dead on with the sun, they both line up right on top of each other. So I'm pretty sure that's how it worked, and that's really interesting. Chrome is so smart sometimes that he was able to just figure that out on the spot like that. That's wild. Uh, but yeah, and the idea that like Viking ships and stuff, like calcite is found with them. I wonder how true that was. I wonder if the Vikings did manage to, figure this out as well. That'd be really interesting if they did. I mean, I guess all it would take is someone just messing around with this rock and moving it around while the sun's shining on it and seeing like the two different lines and then eventually getting like accidentally getting them to line up and being like, oh, that's interesting. And then just testing it a few more times, realizing that these line up every time you point the sun at it, and then just play with it on a cloudy day too and see that it still works. So I could see, people figuring it out even if they're not like scientifically inclined. But yeah, very very interesting. I do like that as well. Um so we freed Hyoga because he has like, I guess it seems like Tsukasa is more just strong boy, right? He doesn't really have a lot of the technical skill, he's just insanely powerful. Which is why we woke up Hyoga, I guess, because Hyoga has the martial arts training. Um, he has the training that he learned with that weapon specifically. I don't know if he has any other training other than just that weapon training, but he had a condition on two people to bring back, which one was Maz and one was Homura, which makes sense. Homura makes sense the most. Maz is interesting. I do kind of wish, like, they are kind of big enough characters in my mind that I wish we got to see him explain, like, the whole situation with Y-Man, because they weren't a lot, like, they were turned to stone before all that, right? So, as long as they didn't, like, I don't know if, once again, I don't know if they can hear conversations while they're in stone, but if they have no idea what's going on in that regard, I kind of wish we could have seen them, like, explain that, because I like seeing the reactions of people. Hell, I'm a reactor because I like watching reactions. So I think it would have been interesting to let them know that this threat on the moon and we're all trying to like come together, because they were saying like Hyoga won't try anything when all of humanity is at risk, but they never explained to him that all of humanity is at risk, right? So I don't know. Maybe as we go forward, maybe like next episode they will explain it. Maybe they just wanted to like show a little bit of it this episode and then move on. But either way, or we can just assume that they got filled in off screen. That's possible too. Maybe they just have so much they want to show us. I mean, I think this season is gonna be like pushing things pretty quick, because if this is the final season, they have a lot to show us. Like, there's a lot of progress that needs to be made to build like 6 different cities or however many they're trying to build, and then have those 6 cities get to the point where they can get all the resources needed to build a rocket, go to the moon, and deal with Y-Man. Like, that's a lot to happen in one season. So maybe we just didn't have the time to stop and explain it to each and every person. But yeah, having Hyoga, Maz, and Homura back should be an interesting dynamic to the crew. So we'll have to see how that works out. I thought there was something else that I wanted to talk about. It was cool them seeing like the icebergs and the whales and stuff like that. That was neat. The whole Viking stuff. Other than that, maybe there wasn't. I thought there was something I wanted to talk about, but maybe there wasn't. Okay. Yeah. I think I talked about most of the stuff I wanted to talk about. I don't think there was another thing. Oh, I did kind of want to see. I don't know why I care more than the others, but did Tsukasa's drink grenadine, pomegranate syrup, and tonic water? So Tsukasa, I don't think either of those things are alcoholic. So he went for the non-alcoholic drink. Interesting. Because I think some of the other ones were, right? Like the oh. I was trying to find. Maybe his was after Tsukasa? Spicy cola, this is what I wanted. Because they called it a grown-up kick. Was it just because of the spice? So there's cola, chai syrup, lemon, and chili pepper. Okay. So maybe the adult kick was just the spiciness of it. And less like something like chai syrup, which I don't know exactly. Like, I know what chai is, but I don't know if somehow any of that's alcoholic. So I thought the adult kick was gonna be like and she called it like an adult drink, but you know, sometimes people correlate like spice, like a lot of times kids don't like things that are spicy. So maybe that's why she called it like an adult kick kind of thing. Maybe all of these drinks were ones that were non-alcoholic. Like, I think that's also the a potential, unless they just didn't mention the alcohol in the show. Maybe for some kind of censoring purposes, there was some kind of alcohol in it, and they couldn't mention it because they didn't want to like pander like a drink recipe to their audience in case like some of the audience is younger. I guess that could be it too, and maybe there was alcohol in some of those. But yeah. Anyway, that's gonna be it from me, guys. This is a really fun episode. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the season, and as it progresses, seems like we're moving pretty quick. We're gonna be in the Americas next, and dealing with new land, I mean, they're gonna have some new wildlife to hunt and eat, probably. They're gonna have some like corn to find before the season ends and everything, and I wonder how quickly we're gonna start waking people up, and how are they gonna handle are they gonna show us the language barrier, right? Like, how many of the people here speak English? I wouldn't be surprised if Senku knew how to speak English. He already knows how to say some things in English. Actually, didn't he speak English with I think it was Ukio, wasn't it? When they were over the radio, they spoke in English for a time in order to like make sure that the other people didn't listen in on their conversation. So I think at least Ukio and Senku actually know how to speak English. So I guess there probably won't be too much of a language barrier. So Yeah, I guess never mind. That's just all good. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to see more. Links in the description below should be popping up on the screen. You can get 2 more episodes ahead of time through the early access tier. Check that out if you're interested. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in my future reactions. Bye-bye.